I genuinely think that you don't need it. Now, Steve, do you have an opinion on that?
Well, firstly, congratulations on losing 85 pounds. Feeling amazing. I mean, that's a great story, Deb. I'm going to echo Richard, I'm afraid. I know you've bought the Berberine. Your body's probably running at, 100 milligrams per deciliter. It's a tiny amount of sugar in 5 liters of blood. And also, if you're very active, your body wants that amount of glucose. Glucose is not the enemy. High chronically elevated levels of blood glucose are the enemy, or huge excursions even going up and down, because therefore you have a lot of insulin. If it's running sort of around 100, and it's as you say, it sounds like you're pretty consistent, you're not going to have huge spikes or huge falls. How does Berberine work? Well, Berberine actually overrides AMPK, which is a signaling molecule in the cell. The cell is saying we don't want any more glucose, which is basically the body mediating exactly how much energy you need and how much should be in the cell. And Berberine, which is the same sort of active mechanism as metformin, is forcing the cell to do something it's not wanting to do. And it basically will put GLUT4 transporters onto the membrane when your body is actually not wanting to do that. And therefore you get this lower blood glucose. Remember that term, blood glucose. So you have too much glucose in the cell. So it's just hiding in the cell when the cell didn't want it in the first place. Even if you are 100% carnivore, you need a certain amount of glucose. The red blood cells, for instance, need glucose. Parts of the brain, small parts of the brain,